Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. It is the 2nd of March, and this is my Flosstube number 120. And I'm Katie Carney from Katie Carney Stitching, and I hope that you're all well. I watched back part of my last video, and wow, the lighting was really bad. It is partly cloudy today. Hopefully, the lighting is a little better. I sit right, like, there's a window here, but I'm kind of like half and half. I look better today. So fingers crossed. This is a slightly more professional video. Only slightly, though. I suffer under no delusions about myself, which I think is important. I hope that you're all well. It's been 2 weeks since I recorded. I have gotten a lot of stitching done. Work has been absolutely crazy. I went on a not great date last week, which meant I didn't get to stitch that day. You got to be a pretty special guy for me to give up my Thursday night stitching for you, and then to have the date be not great was. But that's how we get on the horse. But if anybody knows anyone, in the tri-state area that's under 45 and Catholic, and maybe has a small sense of humor and a little bit of curiosity about the person they're on a date with, let me know. I like being set up. I Yeah. It's rough out there, friends. I also matched with someone online that I went to high school with. Well, he liked me, and I want to be like, do you know it's me? I don't think you do. Because if you did, you would know that no. He was a lovely person, but no, nope, not compatible in that way at all. Um, so yeah, online dating is not it wasn't for the faint of heart when I was doing this 8, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago now. I guess I started online dating when I was like 21, somewhere in there, and it's gotten no better. It's gotten the pickings are slimmer. Anyway, you're not here to hear about my misadventures, but yeah. It's rough out there, friends. There has to be someone out there for me, though. I am having faith today. Like I said, it is the 2nd of March, which means in 3 days we begin Lent, if you're Catholic, and a lot of Christians. The Pope, the Roman Catholic Pope, Francis, is in the hospital, really struggling for his life. So I've been praying a lot for him, for peace for him, though. I don't know. He's Frost age. So it's always a difficult decision on what to pray for. So anyway, all that to say, a lot of my talking today will be about kind of Lenten plans, and it's Sunday. I'm going to Mass after this, and I'm really thinking about my Lenten season. I did decide I'm going to have a Lent start. I know I said I wasn't going to because of the nativity piece, but I'm way ahead on that, so I'm feeling optimistic and allowing myself yet another start, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. So first off, let's go to finishes. Let's actually, cheers to all of us. Let's have a sip of coffee. By the way, these Corksicle coffee cups are great. I like a mug, but I like my drinks to burn me. So yeah, this has been a lifesaver this winter. It was very overpriced, but worth it because I have a Yeti cup that's similar, and I use that usually for tea, but it does not. This has I don't want to tip it too much, but there's a thing that opens and closes here, so it keeps it even hotter. And again, I like my drinks to burn me. I either want them ice cold or burn. Okay. Also, my allergies, oh gosh, already with the light. My allergies are terrible. I'm allergic to dust, and I sang last week on Sunday at Mass, and during the Alleluia, I don't know how to explain it. It was like I felt my voice, oh dear, I felt my throat like, I don't know how to explain it. I was singing and I felt like I broke it. And I got through the rest of Mass. I was very hoarse all day Sunday, and then I was hoarse again on Monday. And then Tuesday I woke up with my allergies out of control. It hit like 45 degrees and my body was like, dust is everywhere. And now it's been like that since. I'm nasally and my throat is weird. Oh, and then Thursday morning, I was on my way to an event, and I decided in the car that I was a Broadway singer, and I was like Kristen Chenoweth singing Popular from Wicked. That was not good. I felt my voice do the same thing, so I probably should just be resting it. Then I did a ton of talking at work, and then I went on a date Thursday night, and unless I asked him a question, we would just sit there in silence. So I did a lot of talking then too. It was a long day. So, Fro's convinced I have a cold. I don't feel poorly. Like, I'm not tired. I'm not achy. I'm nothing. I just, right here. So I think it's allergies, but what do I know? Anyway, so I did have a finish in the last, two finishes in the last 2 weeks. The first one was Prairie Schooler 2000. I don't know if I put this on Instagram. I better do that today. So you all know I'm doing 4 a year. This is my first one for the year. And I finished in February, which means I finished the first quarter a whole month early. I do these on an 18-count light oatmeal fiddler's cloth by Charles Craft with the called for DMC. And there he is. Look at my back stitching. I will say Prairie Schooler back stitching is much easier than most back stitching. But there he is. And I got my year in there. And like I said, I did leave a couple things off, but the candle's in there looking good. So there he is. And I think the light's okay. I am looking at light, so I am having a little trouble seeing, but yeah, there it is. And I liked that. So do you see where the candle is? How the flame, can you see that? The flame's kind of like, because he's walking, so the flame is going back. I thought that was very genius, Prairie Schooler. So that's my first Prairie Schooler of 2025 done. 1 down, 3 to go. I will bring, actually at the beginning of next quarter, I leave in a month for the retreat in Michigan. So I will be bringing I always bring a Prairie Schooler to retreats, so I will have that packed. All right. Next, I have a finish. Another one. And it is the first of my 3 church pieces. So I'm doing one for myself, which I've not started yet, one for my uncle, that is the finished one, and one for my brother. My church closes June 8th. I did the math and figured out that if I did 500 stitches a Sunday and holy days between hither and yon, I would have them all done by June. But I did not at the time know how quick they would go. So I started these, I want to say mid-January, and I've already finished the first one, only working on it on Sundays, and I finished it 2 weeks ago, and last week started the next one, and I'm working on it today. So anyway, the back stitching, it's by Needle and Abode. I'm doing Burke's, that's my brother, and my uncle's on 14-count Ada that's got like a blue hint to it, almost like the sky. The back stitching was wow. It added a lot. It really needed it, but it took me hours. But it's good. It's good practice. So here she is. I mean, look at that. It looks just like my church. It's amazing. She did such a fantastic job with the detail. I mean, that is Nativity of our Lord. Wow. It's fantastic. I'm so sad, but it's so beautiful. I had kind of let it go, pushed it to the side. The church was closing, and then last week I was on the altar singing, and I was like, oh, it's going to be our last Easter. And then I got sad again. So anyway, there's the first one. And then the next one I actually finished this one on a Monday because excuse me, I finished it on a Monday because I just wanted to get the back stitching done. So I had not done the back. I'd worked on something else that Sunday night, and then I picked it up Monday and worked on the back stitching. And I finished the back stitching in a couple hours on Monday. These are all the colors. The fun colors are obviously the stained glass. She took such care with the stained glass windows, and the differences in color in the stone work on the I mean, it's fantastic. And then last Sunday I started the next one, and I got 27% of the stitching done. And then I got another, how many stitches? I worked on it this morning. while I was drinking my coffee early. And let me pull up my tablet. Never more. Great. Oh, there we go. I got a very cheap tablet, for which I am very grateful that I could get a very cheap tablet, but man, it's rough sometimes. Let's try this again. All right, so today I've done 167 stitches and I'm 33.46% done. So I have to go to a flag raising ceremony downtown for St. Patrick's Day, but I don't foresee there being a problem getting 500 stitches. I am going to work on the stained glass today. So you can see I put the first 2 blue stitches in just so I had an anchor for my thread. But I had gotten up to here and I did the rest of the top and the center section this morning. So lots of DMC 437. I'm probably going to need another skein before I start mine. And then at the bottom of all these is going to say Nativity of Our Lord Church, backstitch, and then the year it was founded and the year it closed. I'm doing that all on June 8th and maybe June 9th, depending on what that day looks like, because miracles happen. So we're keeping on. And then I'll take them all I'm going to have these professionally framed. This is my uncle's birthday and Christmas gift. He doesn't know it yet, but he'll get it when they're finished. So that's my 2 finishes and my first whip. All right, time for my next whip. This has been my Saturday stitch. This is, well, it was a weekend and then now 2 Saturdays. Visit Argonaut. This is from Country Magic Stitch. And I think I told you that I had been working I had been working solely on DMC 3761. And I actually went to Joann's and bought the last 2 3761 they had because I knew I would have enough for this, but I had pulled everything out from my master set. So take it off the nurge, which I'm going to need anyway, so I'm glad I'm doing that. Throw that over there. So yesterday I worked more on the 3761. I had a call with Jen and Steph, just a stitchy call, and Steph got off because the time change is odd because she's in California. So Jen and I stayed on until about 9:30, and I finished the 3761 and I started a second color, which really added something to it. So there is all of the 3761. Which is, oh gosh, 4,000. These are 14 count Aida tent stitch 4 strands. So I do a loop start. So this is all tent stitch. And then I added the beginnings of a hand. You can see the hand and kind of see the face there. So yeah, love it. And this is for my father. I have to get this done. Oh, I dropped a floss. I have to get this done for June 1st for Father's Day. And let's see where I am since I have the tablet handy. Hopefully it goes better than the last time I tried to open it up. So as of last night, I have put in 5,000 stitches, half stitches, and I am 22.14% done. So I will probably have to focus more on this, but I still have some time, so I'm not panicked yet. It moves really fast. I did like 1,600 stitches yesterday, and like I didn't work on it in the morning. I worked on another whip, and I was on the phone with Jen and Steph, and like when the 3 of us were on the phone, I was not nearly as productive as when it was just Jen and I. I did more talking. Well, when there's 3 people, you got to pay attention. Okay. New start, of course. This is Solomon's Temple, $18.49. Michelle McGraw found this. I love it. I am not doing the border. I'm just doing the temple and the birds and the trees and stuff. I put this into markup. So I know that I did like 600 stitches. I am using a 40 count Vicki Clayton. Do I have a card? I did not make a card yet, but I'm using a 40 count Vicki Clayton. I pulled DMC from my stash. Gosh, what is the name of this fabric? I could have swore I made a card for this, but I guess I didn't. I bought a half yard of this, and I was really hoping to have enough to do 2 projects, and I cut it, and I'm just not. Oh, wait, I can tell you. Is this it? It is Vicki Clayton Needs Must. And this is the first, like, 600 or so stitches. So I just worked on the bottom corner and got the first couple colors in, and then I'm just going to do it page at a time. It's gargantuous. It is absolutely huge. So this is something I'll be working on for a long, long time. I really thought that I made a thing for this. But since I didn't, let me write 40 count needs must. Vicki Clayton. And I think I started it last Friday, so that was 2/21/25. At least then I'll know that. Because who knows when I'll pick this up again. This is not... So I told you I have 25... I brought 25 projects into this year. And they are the current ones that are in rotation. So there's that one. All right. So the next one was my focus piece last week. So Monday through Friday, excuse me, during the day, not in the morning or in the evening. And I didn't have a ton of stitching time just because it was a busy week. I had met with sister on Monday. Tuesday I had PT. Thursday I had the date. So it was not a great week for stitching. But anyway, this is Roses by Owl Forest. There's a whole bunch more that I'm not doing. I'm just doing the cathedral and the roses. I am using a 20 count gray black, which was Ada, which is dyed by Volcano Stitching. And I am using the Owl Forest black, which is 3104. So it's a lovely variegated black. I will say with Owl Forest floss, I have to use like a conditioner. So I run my floss through this before every strand. My goal had been to finish these roses, and I got all of them done except for this one, which is fine. I will, when I pick that back up again, I will do that. And if you probably don't remember, the only thing I had done was this at 160 stitches, and I've got like 1850 now. So there it is. Oh, it's beautiful, and I love the fabric. It really pops off that. This is a fabric Jen had dyed, and I bought half of her piece. So I figured it out this time. I'm going down. This is 280 down. And this that I just finished is like 160 down. So I have a giant piece of fabric that I'm not going to cut. But eventually I will have to work my way down and cut it. But who knows when I'll get to work on this again. Because trying to put work in on all my whips. Like my old whips. Because I'm telling you, I when we did that whip parade, I was like, wow. I didn't work on any of this last year. So I'm already doing better, much better than last year. Okay. And I told you what fabric that's on. Next, that's December. The next one is from the Heart Needle Arts. I am like cruising. No, I'm not, but I'm like actually going to finish them this year, which I'm very excited about. Is this... There it is. So this is November Quaker. I'm doing all of these on an 18 count oatmeal Aida that you can buy at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, well, not Joann's anymore. I am using the called for English Ivy, which is the green, and then I subbed in classic Color and Cotton Chocolate Frog and Bestitch Me Silk in a doesn't say color. So those are my colors there, and that is very true to color. And then here, hang on one second. Here is where I am. So almost done. I messed up this one. Don't look at it, but I don't mind it, and I think it looks fine. So I have this big motif right here, and then I have a flower thing right here, and then I just have to put November in and it's done. So I might actually just work on this for a couple days downstairs until I get it finished. Because there are some plans that we're going to go over. And then it's just December, and then they're all done. Only 4 months late, it'll probably be by the end. All right, one more whip. So my last whip, and this is my evening stitching, so it doesn't get a ton of work because evenings are rough. This is Plum Street Samplers, George Decorates for Martha. This was my focus piece for like a week and a half maybe in February, because this is a whip from, when did I start this? Don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, friends. But I feel like it was my birthday in either 22 or 23. Might have been 22. So I'm working on this till it's done. I'm using the called for floss, but I am using a Bestitch Me 18 count in a color I don't know. And then hang on one second. The only real change is I changed Mount Vernon from being like an off-white to a bright white so that you can actually see it. So I think the house itself was supposed to be either 822 or 644, 822. And that's this kind of creamy white, and I am just using white. So these are the very messy flosses that have been in this bag for quite a while. And I am not even halfway done, but I am making progress. So the border's all done. I did the border first. And then when I picked it up, Martha was done. The roof, I had a little bit of roof done, and I had about this much of the white on the house done, and then I ripped it all out. So since you've seen it last, I have put the door in, the windows are all in, I've worked on the white for the house, which I promise you can actually see. I've been putting, what I was doing, because I knew I didn't like doing leaves, is I would do a leaf, a strand of green for the leaf, and then I would move down and do something on the house, and then so on and so forth, and that's been working for me. So, and that's the house where you can see the chimney there, that's halfway. Or not the chimney, the cupola. So that's that. So now I will say the heavy stitching is obviously Mount Vernon. So once that's done, then I start like the pumpkins and the autumn leaves, and that won't be too bad. And I actually I made working copies, but I found the physical pattern last week when I was cleaning. I didn't even know it was missing. So we are going to put that right back into the bag where it belongs. I don't know why I made a working copy, probably to protect this, but then why I didn't put the physical pattern back in the bag it came in, I don't know. Make it make sense. So that is my last whip, but then I have some plans and some haul. First off, I'm just going to do my haul quick. I think I told you for the 2 owls piece that I started on retreat, I needed bright white from Sulky. I had a gift card to Missouri Star, I think. Either Missouri Star, I think so. Nope, Fat Quarter Shop. So they didn't have just one single thing of Sulky. So I got this pack, and the one all the way over is bright white. So I will put that with the project. But I needed to use the whole gift card, so I got a pack of 26 Pony Black needles. And I got a piece of Fiber on a Whim 20 count Ada 18 by 20 Celestine. I've been really looking for like blues as like a sky, so I was thrilled to find that. And then my big haul is I have two Joann's. One's like 20 minutes away, one's like 35 minutes away. But I'm down that way a lot for work. So that Joann's was not closing. But then obviously now they all are. So they have a huge, like 2 aisles of cross stitch, lots of fabric, tons of kits that are not my style. They have latch hooking. They have it all. They have all the different kinds of DMC. They have wool DMC, the whole thing. So anyway, I was like, well, let me go see what they still have. And the sales are 25. Everything was really like 25% off. Plus, you could still use your 15 off 75 coupon. So I think I got all this for like $90. And part of why I got it was this is stuff that I can't get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. So I got 3 things. They had 6. I did not buy them all. Of 22 count Ada. I'm going to try to coffee tea dye this. So if you have coffee tea dyed, leave me a comment. Tell me how to do it. Assume I'm an idiot. That's the most important thing. And then, I feel warmly towards opalescent Adas. So I got the white that they had. I got one of the light pink opalescents that they had. And then what color is this? It's the metallic. They call it metallic Ada. The other ones, they call it iridescent Ada, and the other one's also iridescent. So I was happy to get those. They will go in my stash. I do use them. Solomon's Temple had a bajillion colors, and I was short 3, so they did have them. I grabbed them. Where did I put that bag? Put them right in the bag now so I don't forget. And by forget, I mean forget like what they belong to. And then I got 3761. That'll go in stash. And I got 3 more things. I got individual fancy crafty glue to do some needle minders. I have one that needs fixed, and I have a couple I want to make. I got a little storage box that will fit bobbins for my Vicky Claytons so that when I have them in a project, I like to keep them in a box. And then the biggest thing I got was, I'm a lefty. I have a lot of trouble cutting. So I have Singer red-handled plastic sewing scissors that I got at Joann's or something. And when you're lefty, those are the left-handed scissors that you can get. Like, that's it. And then Steph got me a pair of black metal on Amazon sewing scissors that are great, but I use those for fabric, like cross-stitch fabric. But I have been looking for fabric, all metal, good sewing scissors that I can like have sharpened that'll last my whole life. But they never have them in store, and for some reason I'm like, well, I don't want to spend the money to buy them online, whatever. Well, I mean, I have my grandma's good sewing scissors, but they're for a righty. They have a beautiful case. They're what she made probably 100 quilts with, but I can't really use them. So anyway, I found Ginger 8-inch, all metal, lefty scissors with the case, and they cost me $40 from $60. And when I was trying to decide if I should get them or not, I'm texting my brother and my friend, and they were like, well, yeah, you should get them. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I would have been willing to pay full price because I've been looking for these for so long. Why am I being myself? So that's what I got at Joann's. And then I have 2 new starts coming. So that's the other 2 bits of haul. One, this is my Ash Wednesday start. I saw this on Instagram after the cross stitch store owner, who was very well known, who passed away, may she rest in peace. I don't actually know her name, and I've never been to that store, so I'm very sad that she died, but I don't know her. But anyway, someone posted this piece and was like, I'm going to do this in her honor. And I was like, I want to do that for Easter. And it is called Teteleste, but I'm going to call it It Is Finished. Sorry, I can see myself reflecting. I'm assuming you can't see me reflecting. The light. So that's that. I'm going to start that on Ash Wednesday. Haven't picked a fabric or a color. I probably won't do it in red, but we'll see. And then I'll work on that on and off through Lent. And then a friend of mine who I have stitched a couple things for before reached out, and she had purchased a little bunny at a like vintage store. And she wanted a little girl to match. So I'm going to stitch her. Stacy Nash's Maggie May. And I just want to thank the Virginia Stitcher, who does not watch me, but I saw this on her channel and sent it to her and was like, hey, will this work? So there's that. I bought that last night. Her little guy is 3 inches by 6. And Maggie May here is 3 inches by 7 using 36 count. So I might go down to a 32 or a 16 count Aida. We shall see. And then it does have finishing instructions. And then I'm not going to do the needle book, obviously, or it's a scissor holder. I'm not going to do that. It's just going to be I want it to be a stand-up. So I don't think the instructions will actually work for me. I have to talk to Michelle. She's the queen of stand-ups. So Michelle, be ready to help me. I am going to start that when November is finished. She was like, I'd love to have it for the Easter season. And I was like, we can talk about having it for April 1st, maybe. It's full coverage, but it's easy. But really, I have to finish something before I start something else because of my anxiety. So then, starting tomorrow is a new month. I will pick back up Winter Rose Manor for my focus. And this month, it's all about the house. So this is on a 32 count Picture This Plus Bramble. Also, if I have any of this left, that would work for the bunny. And here's where it is so far. This is my oldest whip and my focus for this year until it's done. I am using the old Vicky Clayton silk conversion, which I didn't know was old until a couple weeks ago. It's beautiful. And so I will be working over here on the house this time. I've got the doors in. Or no, I don't. I have the windows in. I got to finish the door. And then I'm going to work on the pink and the roof. I might put the roof in first because then it's just filling in the pink. And I have to do that flower. Do I have to do that flower? No, I did the flower. I was like, I have to do that flower under the cardinal, but I did it already. Also, somebody tell me, is the boy bird or the girl bird the ugly one? Birds. Why do cross-stitch designers have to have birds and everything? So that's my focus for probably a week or two. It's really only been needing like 10 days, but I won't work on this on the weekends like I was because of Agronoth, so it might need more. But then after that, as of right now, I am planning to pick up my Fabulous House series that I started, it's a year ago now. And I'm going to work on Santa's house. I say that now, but I'm going to work on a house this month, so maybe I won't want to. I love houses, though, so I don't know. This is on a 40 count Stonehenge by Bestitch Me. And this is where it is. Wow. There we go. This is where it is. Lots of white. The only color I changed. I'm using the DMC, there's a couple of fancy flosses. If I don't have them, I don't get them. But I am using 1 strand over 2, and I used a B5200 for the white. so it really pops. And that was at the recommendation of Handwork Maniac. So I don't know if I'll finish this piece in March, but that would be great. Wouldn't it be great if I finished one of those? But then I did ask the house. I decided I have been wanting to work on that for a couple months. So I decided that would be my focus, but I did also ask the house robot to pick one for me. So if I'm not in the mood for that, I will be working on Winter Blooms by the Blue Flower, which is a small, but I could finish. So I should probably do that next. But anyway, those are my plans. That's my haul. Those are my whips. Those are my finishes. There's a mess, but I have to leave for church. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm sorry that this is such a D level Flosstube, but I hope you know how much I enjoy getting to chat with you and your comments. And thank you also, Stacy, if you've gotten to the end of this video, for mentioning me in your last Flosstube, because funnily enough, I all of a sudden started picking up subscribers, and I was like, who are all these people coming from? Welcome. And welcome, by the way. And it was from Stacy. So thank you, Stacy. You're so sweet. I can't wait to see you again. So yeah, thank you for all your comments and the likes. And, you know, if you're looking for me, I'm over on Instagram at Katie's Stitching. So I post there fairly frequently. Whenever I have something to show, I show it. Anyway, be well, y'all. Have a great beginning of Lent, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Talk soon. Bye.